No earthly language is allowed. Only extraterrestrials. Luna takuru ke awata warita awata wita awata watika mata katinke awata ke yamate ishi.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I feel like that's it's an elemental, but it's not fairy. Maybe like gnome or something.
From which universe? Just kidding, just kidding. The typical questions. Do they have 4 fingers? Musuh tuh kayak mama kata
Saranaye soro koro Nataya nakia suranai kenari Chiri chiri naro nagia Sonaro tanaye sirinanake Barishatarike natire tarat toro shator konoya Surumana tarani atarine Shandara kanai tehene Suru uatane atakina Surinira Salhala kilale allulu shululu kalani la saano
Ano malabas mucho. Tiano malabas patoki. Tsunami afnoshuko. Maybe it's because I'm thinking about Wesley. Maybe it's because I'm thinking about St. Patrick's Day. But it was like as soon as you said like elementals, I kept feeling like this Irish energy of the and I'm surrounded by the trees here, and I'm seeing all this green, and I'm thinking about green and Ireland and the elementals there. And that's what made me think of.
Oh, and then there's also the Green Man too that they speak about.
Yes.
De na nere aratoro maeteke anoro katane antana haite ne aradne he tehena tiena am to protect us. Shetana he kene roto kumaye tana haroshtane in unity with the trees that titun makahanete sunaye tehene tiara to kumane busha tumane ke hanarete sira andaro mbaje shetana hake uritia andara takawi awan setana ekena rene tehe. I do not show myself often.
You are a goddess. You do not need to hide. No kongaya sanabi shibara wasini sabakato griembele semiti kiano. Thank you, Mara.
Mira, usi shawana ushi acha. Budi la watu usiana wata. Tuni tatika tokonti shata oya wa macho koko.
Lokoto kaisimia. Oh, the
I think the dragon's got to step in there. Ndoro shoro nare tia arata to joso nare tia nare tia ne to kare kare ne to ro mahane tia ta kita ne ko to ya de hisna dere dera to na kende de dia to bar ne ta orst der bost ndruk man he.
So good. The beautiful things that the earth produces, everything to sustain us and bring us comfort and joy and high spirits. Oh, I find just immense
beautiful
gratification in a cup of espresso. Oh, just beans from the earth and the way that it's ground and the smell. And I know coffee's not everybody's cup of tea, but and we love tea as well. But Te loco te fishy.
A single
Well,
plant.
coffee just feels so much more
Cuba,
substantial and fulfilling, doesn't it, really? Than
It
tea.
is. Yes, I think that's what it is. I just feel so, I don't know, comforted. That is literally one of the things I look forward to every morning is the joy of waking up to my coffee. I just love it. I wish it was just easier for us on this planet that all of us just got the cleanest most nutritional food that is available to all of us readily to everybody, no matter what. I do.
At some point, we will have to regulate that. At some point, the collective is gonna say enough is enough, and we will have. I truly believe that we are gonna have at some point politicians who really bring that up, and regulate that.
The average people cannot garden enough, given your seasons, given your the climate.
Maybe so many people that don't have land.
I can't grow enough food for us to sustain us. And I don't have cows and chickens and pigs and you know what I mean? And we are still carnivore, people. So I've even discovered that with vegetables and things. The season doesn't allow for you to have enough to sustain you. You know what I mean? So in my effort to grow my own food, to keep it clean and pesticide free, and I think many of us are in the same boat.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through Do I have a misconception that other countries have an abundance of fresh, non-pesticide food at their disposal? Well, like Dave and I often do, we often speak light language.
Well, there is
and
that
it's only a
wisdom blessing
permission slip.
we
It's just a permission slip to say, I'm not inviting those things into my world. But again, this comes full circle to me feeling like I need to fix something, because by needing to fix it, it's almost like I'm perpetuating the very thing I do not want. Isn't that weird? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, it does.
It's like so bizarre. We humans are so bizarre. But boy, are they learning a lot about us. In these conversations,
we are living very hard times in terms of how poison is everything. So unless we change the way we interpret that, we are going to be suffering a lot. Because if we also believe everything is poison, and we keep that belief,
exactly,
we are going to be allowing that to harm us.
That's what Dave says. What do you want to focus on? That's what he always says to me. Every time I say something negative about, what do you want to focus on? He says.
Exactly.
What do you want to focus on?
Exactly.
Yeah, there was something I once heard Bashar say. I don't memorize everything he says, but there was something he said once. I don't even know the exact wording, but the concept of it is something that I always remember. Is when he said, like the human race, like you are so powerful, wonderful beings that you came in to this incarnation and you have had the ability to transmute darkness into light. That's just amazing.
Yeah. Is you put your focus into something and you concentrate in that is gonna be good in any way or form. When I ingest it, when I digest it, and when I eat it, that's it. You have that power to transform it.
I did all my life, up until, I drank regular coffee my whole life up until probably maybe less than a year ago. I just woke up one day and my body was like, enough caffeine. You're done with that trip. This constant, because it was constant all day. I'm on this caffeine, and then I just didn't like the way it was making me feel. I didn't like the way it was making me sleep, or it was just all of a sudden. I never in a million years, you guys, ever would have thought you would hear me say I drink decaf coffee. Never. But it was like my body was like, nope, you've come to a new threshold. and I couldn't handle that constant all day being on caffeine like that anymore.
It's like being
tearing
on a
me up.
high, isn't it? Mm.
Yes, and it was killing my stomach too. And I was like, I told Dave, I said, I can't do this anymore. And that's why when I do have caffeine, it's only this. I get a cup of espresso, and we don't even do this every day. It's just like there's like this afternoon when we're hanging out.
I drink caffeine if I'm at a cafe, because they don't most of them do, but some of them don't actually have decaf available. But even if I'm at a cafe and they have decaf, I might just have regular coffee, because it's a random thing that I do, and I just think, oh, a bit of caffeine isn't going to hurt me. Probably a little bit of caffeine is actually good for you from time to time.
But again, it's the way you take it. If you take it like abusing of it, it's gonna harm you. But if you take it like sacredly, like you say, I take it because it's sacred for me, it's gonna sit well.
I'm still finding, well. And for anybody who, if they ever listen to any of this, but I think for all of us, we're finding our balances, just like the whole dark and light, feminine, masculine, all of that stuff. We're starting to find our perfect balances in our life, and each one of us is going to be completely different. Some of us very the same, and plus that changes every minute. Every time we change, minute by minute, we're somebody new. And it was like I said, I never would have thought I would have just said, yeah, I'm done with caffeine. Like, same thing with a lot of things in my life. I gave up tobacco years and years and years ago.
Yeah. Oh God, I gave that up in my 20s.
So, but you know what I mean? It's just we go through these, but we realize that as we are changing moment by moment, what used to seem inconceivable to me is now every day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, we do change and we grow, and then you learn to let things go from your life that are no longer serving your highest good. And unfortunately for me, it was my marriage. But fortunately for me, I remain very good friends with my ex. So I'm hugely grateful for that.
I've thought about you a lot lately, during my circumstances, with all of that. And there's a lot of things I need to just stop focusing on.
Yeah, at the moment, there seems to be this whole theme about letting go. I mean, we kind of had that all last year, the year of the snake, letting it all go, shedding the old skin and everything. But it still seems to be an ongoing thing about letting go, whether it's letting go of old beliefs or letting go of bad habits or letting go of whatever. I was saying to Ismael before you joined in that I had to let go of this fear of being seen. And, I didn't think I had that, but I've discovered that I actually kind of do. I guess it depends on how I'm being seen, where that fear lies, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not afraid of being out in the public and being myself, but I guess it's and I'm not even afraid of the light language in and of itself. However, my body will react, and whether that's a fear reaction, I'm assuming it is, and the way it reacts is very, very unpleasant. So it holds me back.
I completely understand.
I want to let go of that fear, and it's very, very difficult. Very difficult.
For me, the best way I faced that was using the light languages. Doing these events, that's the way that's what
it's the light languages doing that in public that gives me the fear. Well, this is why I've started to put some of my stuff on Facebook, because I figure it's kind of getting it out there, but I'm not having to do it in person, so that the reaction, the physical response is not sort of like it would be if I was doing it in person.
Impactful, yeah.
And I'm hoping that's going to kind of pave the way for me to open myself to actually, do it in person without getting that terrible physical reaction. That's quite upsetting.
Oof,
hey, every time I had a live event,
in the beginning,
I was always nervous and sick to my stomach before I did a live event. Nobody would know it. It was like and to this day I have no idea. I was the same person. I didn't want to be seen. And like I said, Hey, when I first started my channel, a whole year, I was not on camera. Nope. I spoke light languages to
I don't
the
want to be on
light
camera.
world. I was not on
Except for
camera
this
for a
one.
whole year. You know, and even now, even all these years of doing live events and doing light languages, the weirdest things that we could possibly hear and say out of our mouths. And yet, I have trouble recording myself talking about my artwork. I am terrified.
Wow.
Can't explain it. Terrified. I can't, like, if I want to sit and do like an art demo, I'm like, I can't speak. Like, I'm like, and I've been online for years. Oh, and for me to put myself on camera and talking about my art and oh God, I'm still.
But so it seems to me that if you're okay with everything else, but you're not okay with expressing about your art, there's got to be something there at some level with regard to art that has created that, or maybe you've had a bad experience with it in a past.
I'm sure I have. Or I think it's just beliefs that it's the same thing. I'm not good enough. I'm not, all of that. But you know what the weird thing is about this? Same thing with oracle readings. I started different channels for oracle cards, and I started a different channel for my art. But yet, what's weird is I feel like I am completely comfortable with sharing my art and light language and oracle cards on my light language channel. But I don't.
I can understand that. I can actually resonate with that. That makes sense. It's like I can speak light language like in person in a small group that I'm like in my little, I have run a little meditation group once a week. And I actually find lately, the last few weeks, there's light language coming out, like, because I channel the meditation live. And the light language will come out in the middle of that somewhere when it's appropriate. And I've done that for the last probably 2 to 3 weeks. It's not something I plan, it just happens. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I can do it within that little group. And I've got another little group that I go to. It's a women's circle, which I'm only new at. So they're all strange faces, but I can still do it with them. It's a group of maybe 6 ladies. But I've been asked to stand up in front of our spiritualist church and speak about it. And I'm like, nah, not happening.
Wow.
I think we will always feel where is the appropriate place to do it. Magna, but we need to also discern, is it me because of a blockage within me, or is it because I'm perceiving from these people that I shouldn't be doing that there? I think we know, and it's easier.
It could be a bit of both.
Or it can be mixed. It can be mixed. Yeah.
Can you visualize a real like a movie, I guess, of yourself? Can you visualize yourself there? And like, how would you start? What would you say to introduce yourself and to introduce this idea? Can you picture yourself doing it?
Is that for?
Sort of. Look, I actually did give it a go once. It was just before Christmas, so there were very few people there. I think there was maybe 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 people. It's a very small group. It's very small. I don't like to call it a church, but anyway, it's a small group. And I knew most, and look, I do know most of them, and they're all I'm sure they're all very open and they're all very nice and everything. But I still have this reservation. But I didn't actually channel live. I played a recording. I sort of explained about light language, and I played a recording. But even though then the heart went into arrhythmia because I was so anxious about it, even though it wasn't live. It wasn't me actually physically channeling in the moment. And I went home and had help.
That goes away. That goes away.
Yeah,
time goes away.
You probably would have been more comfortable just talking and listen.
Yeah.
I would be harder for me to stand there playing a video of me talking in light language than it would I would be freaking out, like, just because I'm watching everybody and their reaction to that instead of just being in the moment and being in the, in the flow of it.
I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking if I was sitting amongst everybody and I suddenly felt like I needed to express. I'd be happy to do that, but it's being out in the front of them, like being right in front of everybody, being the focus of everybody. That is what really, really gets up me. Like, it really bothers me, disturbs me.
That's what I faced the first time I did a public light language event. It was very strange for me. But yeah, I had never spoke light language in public to anybody until I did that event. And it was really weird to stand up in front of a room full of complete strangers and talk about light language. And it was very powerful, actually. It was also very freeing.
That's the thing. That's the thing that is very uncomfortable, but gradually you start feeling like, oh my God, but it's really in the same way that it's uncomfortable. It's making me feel freer and freer.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, but I don't know what it is that I'm reacting that way now. I know a few years back, I was a volunteer at a psychic fair. And just before we started, you know, everyone gathered round, and the lady who was running it, she sort of had a little bit of an announcement there, and I got the push from Spirit. It's like, I literally feel a hand pushing my shoulder forwards, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. And in the end, I couldn't help myself, because they just propel you out. You can't resist it anyway. So I just stepped forward and I said, excuse me, I've got something to say. And I just blurbled out in light language. And as it happened, it was a blessing. And I wasn't nervous about it then, like it just happened, and I didn't have the whole heart reaction happening then, but I get it now, like years later, and so I'm quite not understanding why it's affecting me like this now, and it didn't back then. Is it because I'm in a higher frequency, so that's affecting my heart, like the pulse, the electronic pulses in my heart? I don't know, but that's the one factor that holds me back. If it wasn't for that whole, that's going to happen kind of thing, and I know you could say, well, I'm bringing it upon myself, but I kind of don't. Because I've had times where I just like, I'm just going to do it anyway. And then I get the response afterwards. I'm like, damn, I knew I should not have. So I'm still trying to work out, why is it I was okay with it years ago, but not okay with it now? I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm. So, sometimes because we are dealing through that process of healing that inside. And often we in a conscious level, we don't know what we are healing. But in a subconscious level, if we go like with, let's say, using hypnosis, you can find out that sometimes we are going through that healing process that is triggering that response in your system.
Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure I'm going through some heart healing. I mean, I've done a lot of heart healing, but
we are healing a lot in this week.
Yet to come. I've had a couple of, I've at least one lifetime where I was killed by having an arrow pierced through my heart, but I've dealt with that one. We've done the healing on that one. So whether there's more that I don't know about, I do believe I had a lifetime where I just had like a congenital heart disease. So I don't really focus on that too much. I'm just saying, I'm aware that happened, and that was then. Yeah. It's not now. So I'm just still trying to work out why I'm getting that now. And I think it is that there is heart healing that needs to be done, but I'm not aware of what that is. I'm not aware what's causing that in my heart that requires healing. It's kind of hard if you don't know what it is to work on healing it. But anyway,
that's why I feel like using a tool like hypnosis is not always a must do. But sometimes it's helpful, because sometimes that there is a part of you that needs to or wants to know what is causing it, what is the root that is causing that. The thing is that there are some things, in my own experience, there are some things that I feel I don't require to know the root, and I can kind of automatically heal that with the light languages. But there are some other stuff that I feel like sometimes I need to kind of dig into the root, and find what is the root of causing that. And that's when I ask for help to other colleagues who also do this kind of therapies. Mishi anaktuna tu titintinti narakunta tati shinti titintinti narakunta tatayana. Unete tinti quinta narakunta naratunta ineta tatikata.
Kishapakoto kieme ves baravashi. You know, I guess my signal must be going in and out because it keeps turning off my camera too. I know that's exactly how I feel. Transform that thing, you know, and then you realize you have to dig deeper. And then there's sometimes when you're just like, okay, I acknowledge it and I'm done with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think you're done, and then it pops up again later.
As well.
It did.
It's like so interesting. It's like when you think that you know how it works, life does it in a different way, and you feel it in a different way. It's like I don't know. It's kind of funny sometimes how life works out things, and how we find like, oh, now I know how it works. No, you don't. I'm gonna change.
Yeah, I had an issue that I spent a lot of time healing on, and I thought I was done and dusted. And it took me 20 years to finally get the last of it healed. And I didn't even know it was still there. It was just like, as my friend said, it's like this little thorn that's stuck in your guts there, and you need to dig that one out. And because I'd done all this healing, and I thought it was fine, and thought it was all good, but every so often something would spike up, and I'd arc up about it, and I'd go, what the hell? I thought I'd done all that healing. So I went and did a little meditation with myself, and did some shadow work and whatever, and that pretty much did it for me. I realized then that I was okay with it. So you know, when you think about it, you can hang on to something for so long, and we do, like, and even though you think you've healed it, it's not always the case.
Well, and that includes relationships. You know, we hang on to relationships that, you know, we know that they may not be horrible or terrible, or, you know, but we just know there's something missing, and that we, you know, and I will say, before the light language event that I did, I kept getting this sick to my stomach feeling, like, why don't I feel better and more excited about this event? I kept just getting this feeling of dread, and how we interpret things, because, and I even remember telling my ex this, I don't know why I feel this way, and why I feel trepidation, and because it was something I'd never done before, you know, and I was flying in a plane that I did not really excited to do, but and then the whole thing about talking in public about light language, but again, that was the weekend I met Dave in person. Was that me knowing that my life was about to change in a big, big way, and I was feeling it, but didn't really know?
Yes.
That what I knew was coming to an end?
Makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So the question is when we all are like, okay, what do I do in my life? What do I do in this situation? When I'm faced with a decision, sometimes we interpret that decision, oh, I'm feeling such a
dropped out again.
I shouldn't do it. You know, if you feel like, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't go there. Maybe I shouldn't do this because I feel icky inside.
But maybe the icky was an excitement.
It was. It's how it's the same thing with grief. We feel the same feeling of grief as we do gratitude and pure love, but we interpret it differently. But it is the same frequency.
Yeah.
We just look at it as something's missing. It's something we lost, you know, and so when we're faced with these decisions in life, and we're told every day by spiritual highest joy, sometimes that doesn't always feel like we think it's going to feel.
The brain try to know in the way that the brain try to process everything, and that capacity by the brain, it doesn't exist. We always find the understanding later. So first we get the emotions, the feeling, the experience, and later on we say, oh my God, yeah, that was this and that was that. And there is such a thin line between things that we really feel like we have to do, and sometimes there is a very thin line with the things that are icky because you shouldn't do. So that's where we are. That's why we find it very difficult to discern that. Because,
and these are the big questions in life, because, you know,
that's the big question. But that's why it's so important to wake up this, because at some point this is gonna tell us. But we need to trust more this. We need to learn how to trust this first, so that we allow the flow of everything through here. But if we don't trust this, the flow is not gonna reveal the full meaning of how to discern things. And that's a process that we are going through it, whether we like it or not, because the frequency in the whole planet is changing, and we are changing with the planet. So it's a process, and it's gonna take a while. And thanks God, in this group, we are in the same page. But when I am out there, oh my God, there's so many people who are still like 30 years ago in the version of Ismael 30 years ago. That's how I see the people out there. I see like myself, I understand them perfectly, because I remember myself being there 30 years ago. So I just.
But don't you even, like, you look at the version of yourself 30 years ago, and you sit here and you go, I don't even recognize that person.
I don't even recognize.
Was that really me? Like, I don't recognize that person. It's so not me.
Don't recognize
even like now, I've had people say to me so often, I mean, I used to be such a negative Nancy, and people look at me and go like, what, you, negative? I can't possibly imagine that, you know? Like,
yes.
It's so different. I could not have imagined it. You know, 20 years ago, I could not imagine me being as I am today.
That's why when people say you have been reborn several times in the same timeline, I truly believe that. I truly believe that. No, I don't feel like I have to be called anything.
But I think at some point too, names are not going to be important, because we're going to recognize each other by our energy. So
by the frequency, exactly. Because if someone tells me, Sister Willow, do you identify because of her name or because of the love you feel from her? And I say, I identify her more from the love I feel from her, not anymore from the name.
Yeah,
and the same with Wendy, and the same with everyone.
I had a friend who's visually impaired quite severely, and we used to go to the spiritual center regularly, and I'd walked up, I'd arrived, and I'd walked up behind her, not because I wanted to sneak up behind her, but she was standing there and had her back to me, and then I walked towards the group that she was with, and I stopped because they were talking and I didn't want to interrupt, so I just stopped about 2 feet from behind her, and she's there and she's talking to them. She stopped and she goes, has Wilma just arrived? I'm like, yeah, I'm standing behind you, because she felt my energy. She felt my energy. Yep. She didn't hear me, she didn't see me, but she felt my energy and she recognized it as mine.
Wow. That's the way we are going to be.
I think that's where we'll go.
Interacting with each other.
It might take 100 years, but I think we'll end up there.
And that, I remember one of these channeling from Bashar, that he said that in the way the Sesane communicate with each other, is that way because they don't need to call by names. They don't have names. That's what he said. We don't have names in our planet. We don't need the name because we feel the person. We feel the other as a son. And that makes so much sense.
I would like to know which galactic race has a yellow triangle, a downward facing triangle on their forehead. If anybody knows, please let me know. Because I have this image, I've had this for a long time, of being this being or being with a being. I don't know what I look like. I guess I must have been the same, but I've done it in this lifetime. Like because I've struggled with the expression, I feel like I just want to put my hand on their forehead and then just transfer the information that way. And I swear I must have done that in some past life or some past existence or a parallel life. But when I did that, I saw this yellow triangle, like in my mind when I was doing it, I saw this yellow, upside down triangle on their forehead. So I'm like, what race was that? From curiosity, my brain wants to know.
I think I've seen other people draw beings with that upside down triangle on
I have seen many drawings downloaded with the triangle. I have seen.
Well, I love the whole just transmission. Look, hang on. I'll just put my hand on your forehead. You'll get that. That way you send it energetically, and the understanding is way better than trying to express it in English words, which just don't do it justice.
What I'm receiving from my higher self is not that is not as important. Once again, where it's coming from, as the important that it has that you start applying. So if you feel like the call to do it, just do it. Do you know why I'm wearing this today? Because since I was young, since I was a boy, whenever I was wearing something like this, I felt better. I felt like more secure. For some reason, I feel secure with myself. I feel more confident.
They strike me. I see those, and I think of it's like protection. It's like gladiator. I feel gladiator energy from it.
For some reason, I feel super protected. And then I asked in one of the quantum healing sessions, because there was this guy from Mexico that asked me for a session, and I did the session on him, and he said, "Oh my God, you are here with me, and we are Cyclops." And I say, "Yeah, we are Cyclops." I say, "And you are my brother. That's why in this life we have such a strong connection." And then I ask him, "What things are we wearing?" And he say, "We have something in our wrists." And for some reason, I feel empowered wearing this. So when we take them off, we feel like kind of more like vulnerable. But when we wear them, we don't only feel more empowered, but we can kind of manifest anything that we want just by feeling that in our heart. So we are like kind of architect manifestors by using this device that we are wearing in our wrists. And this is the first event that I felt like guided to wear them. And for some reason I say I'm gonna start wearing them because my mind was judgmental in why are you gonna go there like looking like a Roman, like an old-fashioned Roman? Why are you going to do that? That's silly. That is stupid. And today is the first day that I say I'm gonna transcend my judgment. I'm gonna just wear them because I feel like wearing them. That's it. That I don't want to put more judgment into that. It's good. I feel good. I feel, well, I'm gonna do it. So the same feeling I got when you say that about the triangle, do you feel like doing it? Do it. But do it. Even if at some point you feel like,
oh, hey, that's great. I think I've got to practice with my friends. So I go to this little psychic development group, and that's something I might actually bring up and do a little practicing and see if they actually get any data if I kind of do. How interesting. I'm going to try that.
And sister Tiara, have you seen that she had this tendency?
The crystal on the forehead,
she felt the same. She told me years and years ago, Ismael, this is not to look fashionable. This is because I felt like wearing it, and when I wear it, I feel like I anchor the energy much better in my system. So it has nothing to do with looking prettier or anything. And I say, I believe you, sister.
Yeah.
I believe you, because I know that there are certain things that are interconnected from aspects of ourselves that are interfering in this timeline that we are living. And that with the triangle, I'm sure that it has something to do with the same way, so that you start using it, that you start playing with it, playing just like a child will do. I'm going to test this. I'm going to see how I feel with this. I'm going to
yes. That's worth a go. I like
definitely,
that concept.
Definitely. And that's with that love and joy is how we open portals of information. Portals of information that we don't need somewhere else to even do a session for us. We just play with it. We find out that we're like experimenting, no? Which is what
I want to do that experiment. I feel an excitement about that, so I'm going to play with that.
This pendant is like meteorite. It's not from planet Earth, and this one I have in the top like a ball. It's also a meteorite. I had them for 8 or 10 years, and I had them in my altar there.
Is it moldavite?
No, it's not moldavite. It's actually really, really black. It's like lava. It looks like lava, like from the meteorite went through the layer of the atmosphere, and it burned. And it's a material that is not from here.
Okay.
Well,
I think Dave has some.
I had that material for 10 or 8 years there, and I never felt the call to wear it. And only in the last 2 weeks, I started wearing it, and I am having the most strange dreams that I ever had. And all these dreams are not from here, from planet Earth. It's from a version of me somewhere else. And for some reason, this is helping me to connect with those aspects of me. And what I'm doing, I'm experimenting. I'm just testing myself. How do I feel wearing this? I'm gonna test what things change in myself during the time since I felt the call to wear it.
As Bashar says, everything is a permission slip.
It's a permission slip, exactly. You open that portal.
But if it resonates with you, he said, that's why you're supposed to use it.
Yeah.
Because even though it is a permission slip, if you're resonating with it, it's because it's a tool for you to use. Yeah. Because you're excited about it, that's why to use it, because it will take you to the next step.
Yeah.
Of your higher mind, and allowing that to choose our direction, if you will.
Yeah, it's like breadcrumbs. It's like a breadcrumbs that so you find, okay, this one is leading me to the next one. This one is leading me to the next one.
And like, okay, so what I'm getting at the moment is also, you talked about the portal. I think that could be, for me, a portal to aid my connection to my star family.
Yeah,
whomever they are.
You know what I just saw? I just saw a vision too that even would work as a permission slip for the ability for you to be seen, to feel more comfortable being seen.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not even not only being seen by others, by you seeing yourself.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, so wow.
Self-recognition. Self-recognition.
Yeah, I've had moments where I've done that, where I have recognized certain aspects of myself, and I'll just end up a blubbering heap on the floor because it's just so, and even now I can feel some emotional welling because I'm just like, there's part of me that just goes, oh my God, is that me? Like, how can that be me? Like, that's just so beautiful and so powerful. How can it be me?
And I can see you doing a video with that on, speaking light language, and you're like, I know who I am. You know, and you singing.
I feel that too.
Yeah, and of course, this morning, as I said to you earlier, Ismael, I was listening to a bunch of light language tracks because I felt quite ordinary when I woke up at 4 a.m. Not because I woke up at 4 a.m., but I just felt pretty ordinary. And well, one of the tracks that I listened to, and I ended up in tears again. It was one that I decided I was going to connect to 3i Atlas and see, did I get anything? And I did. I got a light language transmission. And whilst I was getting that, I had this sort of an image, but more of a knowingness, like, and this is true now because I know I'm getting an emotional reaction. I have 2-star family on that craft. 2-star family. And I listened to that this morning and I was just in tears because I guess I felt that connection. Whew.
That's how we know. That's our knowing. That's my cue. That's when I know. Because Dave knows. I'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'm just like, I burst into tears, and I'm just like, and I just know.
Boom, boom, boom.
No shadow of a doubt.
That's my indicator. I remember a couple of years back, I would have friends that say, "Oh, look, you know, if I get something, you know, the hairs on my arm will lift up," or my father used to get the hair on the back of his neck, or someone say, "It feels like a feather across my face," and I'm like, "Yeah," and I get tears. Yeah. And I said to my guys, "Can I have something different? Because it's kind of embarrassing." Well, back then, now I don't care anymore, but back in the early days, it was quite embarrassing. Like nowadays, it's more of a prickle behind my eyes and my throat will constrict and it may come into tears. But back then it was just definitely floods. And I was like, this is embarrassing. Can we like change this? Can we do something else? And they were like, no. Like, not because we want to be strict and not give you a choice or your free will, but because you recognize this. And if we change it, you are going to not recognize it. So it needs to remain. And they're right. Dave when I get that reaction, I know it's truth.
It's the unconditional love. In that moment, we recognize it.
Yeah. And it's only the mind, like, kind of being picky, you know, wanting something that way. When they are just expressing, that's the way you recognize us. So sometimes they just say, just need to surrender to it.
I mean, I would be out there in the woods doing a light language video, and all of a sudden I'm just weeping on the ground. Like, what is happening to me? You know, because I didn't understand, you know, what am I feeling? Like, what is that? What is making me feel this way? I'm just walking through the forest with light language, and all of a sudden I'm just like, what? Why am I crying like this? What is, you know? Some recognition.
I think it's what you said earlier.
It's recognition. It's self-recognition.
And it's so powerful. I mean, I've had the occasions where I will share with my little small groups, intimate groups, with the light language. And when I'm done, I'm just sobbing. Absolutely, like it's not just little tears. No, I'm literally sobbing out loud because I felt it so strongly.
Because we are channeling constantly, because we are giving information super fast and giving it from the heart, purely from the heart, like. And then when you listen to the video, it's like you are in a different angle, looking from a different angle, and you say, "Oh my God, yes." And that resonates in a different way and very powerful also.
Well, we are in the vibration of unconditional love when we're together. Totally. So therefore, everything we're saying is coming from our heart space.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
There is no thought about, oh, if I say this and how do I say it, and whether none of that exists in this. No. And that's how I can tell the difference too between the vibration of groups.
If we wouldn't, I wouldn't feel as comfortable as I feel with you.
Yep.
I will feel different. I will feel like in other places where I go. But here I feel so free to say anything.
Yeah.
That I know that that's why we are in the same page, talking from unconditional love. Brother, Kuruga.
It is always the greatest pleasure to participate in these groups, speaking light language and being together and sharing all our enjoyment of it. The infinite experiences these things through us and appreciates and enjoys our conversations, not only in light language, but being together and sharing. For sharing is the thing that matters most. For without the sharing, there's nothing. And that is how all that is, and all that is come together and experience unity and all our love. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Beautiful.
Thank you, Dave. We share the gratitude. Thank you so much, guys. I look forward to the next one. Have a lovely day.
So much love.
Bye, lovelies. See you.